Hi, this is Ross from VSM. In this video we're going to cover off the dashboard we've created for the Avaya Session Border Controller. I must acknowledge the guys that have sent through requests for this. Thanks to you guys, you know who you are. Really appreciate your feedback and engaging with us on the real world problems that you find in managing these environments. It really helps us to focus in and create something that's really useful and provides benefits not only back to you guys with the ideas but also to the wider base as well. So really appreciate that feedback. Keep it coming through. So the new Session Border Controller dashlet under here in System Health. Click on System Health and we see towards the bottom we've got an SBC System Health dashboard there. So I drag it out, put it on the dashboard, and we'll configure this. This environment we're going to be looking at is our internal environment at VSM. So reasonably small environment compared to most of you out there, but useful nonetheless. So the dashboard follows the same layout as the other dashboards created, with the working our way through the OSI model. So up the top here we have the server hardware operating system as normal. We can expand out the process occupancy there and look at what's been going on in the last 10 minutes. So that's collapsible to save on real estate if you wish to do that. So right now we're sitting at 4%, 0% memory and 15% disk, so we're not sweating it. Now as we work our way through these drop downs, we can see the status of the application. So we're running the SEMS and SS, and we can see they've been running for quite some time, so the applications are running and healthy there. There's service status, so the individual services within those applications that are running. They're all alive and kicking. We can see they're responding to our little probe to see if they're alive, and they're up and running. So that the dashboard now tells us that from a server operating system perspective, application, software service perspective, everything's running cool. So everything's green there. Nice healthy SBC. Now we from there start digging into the SIP calls themselves. We can expand out this box here, and this gives us some really useful information. So up the top there we can see right now we have 4 active calls. Here's our active calls in progress. So as I say, small environment but interesting nonetheless. So that's right now. If we look at the equivalent field over the last 3 minutes, so that column there, so last 3 minutes, 5 calls in progress, and our all-time total there, 2,300 calls, 2,312 to be precise. So this dashboard is giving us this information on the traffic. Also really of interest from a security perspective is the calls blocked. So this area, these areas down here really are really important from a security perspective. So your Session Border Controller of course acts a bit like a firewall. So from a voice or video perspective, it's effectively your firewall out there, and nasty people in the internet world are going to test the rules that are on that SBC. They're going to try and get through this, and we have been involved in cases where this has happened, and VSM has alerted the people concerned to the fact that they are in the throes of being hacked. So when you get your rules starting to be tested, and this can be quite, it can be done through brute force, or it can be done in quite a low level way and fly below the radar, something you really need to be aware about from a security perspective. So we can see there, our calls blocked, invites dropped, sessions dropped, and so forth. Those figures there are relatively small. Over the last 3 minutes, which is the second column here, no sort of activity in that area at all, which is good. So let's clear that off. So, from a SIP perspective, that's giving you a lot of real-world information about what's happening there. When we look at the protocol itself, this box here, we drop this down. Again, we've got that same sort of approach with the total and then the last 3 minutes as well. And in this case, we're not looking at perhaps if the SBC rules are being tested, but what we're looking at here is the calls that have failed. So of course in the SIP world, the 200 response, the 200, the OK message. That's a good thing to see. And we can see our all-time record there, all-time number, and also the last 3 minutes of those 200 responses. So that's what you want to see. You want to see figures in there. What you don't want to see is this next layer down. I'll just clear that off. Is this next layer down here, which is the SIP error codes. So you can see there we've been sitting at 0 and 0 for the last 3 minutes. So that's a nice clean environment. But that's the area to watch, particularly in this world where you've got lots of different carriers out there. You've got lots of different applications that are being integrated using SIP. They've all got their slightly different interpretations of the standard. There's all slightly different implementations, and of course you can get some calls failing on the basis of just that interworking, and it can be quite a challenge. So in there, that's the dashboard telling you if you're getting problems on that perspective, from that perspective. Thanks for your time.